Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Relaxed Bee. I am Taya Sophie. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Over here I love talking about my hair journey as well as sharing any tips or tricks that I learned along the way. So if you're all about growing out your own hair, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. So it's 2023. And I know a lot of us are all about the inches, growing out our hair, making sure our hair is in tip-top shape, getting to the length and health, I hope, that we all want to attain. So this video is going to be all about, it's going to be a 2-for-1 actually, because it's going to be a combination of the tips and tricks to actually protective style your hair, as well as a protective style challenge that I'm all giving you guys to actually follow me on for this year. So keep watching. Okay, so first things first, before we get on to this protective styling challenge, as well as the tips to actually help you retain healthy hair during your protective styles, I want you guys to take a look at the first video that I posted around how to pick a protective style that actually works for you. So making sure that you are picking something that your hair responds to positively and will actually help give positive benefits in your length retention versus losing a lot more hair in the process. So please take a look at that video first. The goal right now for 2023 is we start off with a fresh base, nice trim, figure out where your hair is right now, the way it is, the health and the condition. Pick the type of protective styles that you want to be able to do for the next 6 months or a year, depending on how ambitious you are for this challenge, and then actually commit to a consistent routine for doing that for the rest of 2023. I will go now into a lot more details as to the 5 main things that we need to be able to do to make sure that our protective styles are actually working in favor of our hair goals. So the first thing you want to do to make sure your hair is prepped and primed, I will talk a lot more about a max moisture routine. So find a routine that is balanced, something that includes some level of protein potentially, as well as a lot of moisture, and use that as your prep wash session before you go into your protective style. I will link videos below as to examples of the different types of routines that you could potentially do, but maybe doing like a pre-poo with a light protein, going in with a clarifying wash, and then actually doing a deep moisturizing mask to help make sure that your hair is in a prime moisture retention condition before you go into your protective. And then number 2 will be, you need to be able to pick a protective style that actually works for you and your hair goals. I mentioned a little bit in my last video the importance of actually knowing how your hair responds to either the short-term, mid-term, or long-term protective styles. And the reason for that is sometimes your hair might be prone to breakage based on how often that you're manipulating your hair, or if you're anything like me as well, it's also prone to matting, where if you leave it alone for too long, it's almost impossible to get it to separate. So I am choosing to do mid-term protective styles where I'm doing more chunky braids, either wigs, so on and so forth, and having my styles for a minimum of 2 weeks and a maximum of 3 weeks, to just give my hair more of a break and my ends a lot more time to actually be protected in a style before I go back for another one. The number 3 tip for making sure your protective style is actually working for you is making sure you're moisturizing. Just because you have your hair in a protective style doesn't mean you neglect it completely, right? That's just half the work. The next thing is to make sure you're either oiling your scalp as frequently as you need to. So anywhere from every 3 to 5 days is ideal, to make sure you're just putting some oil on your scalp, giving it a light massage as much as you can, and even possible just moisturizing the length of your hair just to make sure that your hair isn't drying out in your protective style, right? You might not need to do it as often if you're doing a short, you will need to do it a lot more often if you're doing a short-term protective style, but if you're anywhere with the mid-term or the long-term protective styles, every 3 to 5 days should be sufficient to keep your hair in a hydrated and moisturized. Number 4 that I will be doing as part of this protective style challenge is oil and scalp massages. So like I mentioned before, oils for me have proven to be very beneficial throughout my own healthy hair journey. So I'm looking to incorporate it a lot more this year. And by doing that, I will make sure that I'm also doing it with my protective styles. So when I have my hair in a style like this, every 3 to 5 days I'll just make sure to put oil on my scalp because right now it's cold, it's winter, and my scalp will probably be drying out just very quickly with my scalp exposed this much. So going in with oil every 3 to 5 days will really help in maintaining the moisture content in my hair. And if I don't want the hair getting too frizzy too soon, I'll leave the moisturization till a little later in my styling process. And then last but not least, number 5 is to protect your hair at night. So we're still going to be wearing our satin bonnets, we're still going to be wearing our satin scarves. Regardless whether or not you have your hair in a protective style, it still needs to be protected. It just makes sure that you're not getting as much frizz. I find that it helps me lay down my hair a lot flatter, so at least the frizz isn't starting to build up on my roots. Same thing as with the length of the hair. So make sure you're protecting your hair at night. Whether or not you're doing a short-term, mid-term, or a long-term protective style, your hair still needs to be protected because it'll help in preventing excessive moisture loss. And that's it. That's really it for this video. I hope with this protective style challenge, as well as the tips and tricks that you could do to help make sure that your protective style is working for you, that you feel a lot more confident to actually continue to pursue your healthy hair journey. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and your families. Give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Love you. Bye.